Amado Castro, University of the Philippines School of Economics, and the University of Asia and the Pacific. Different professors look at things differently. In fact, in my last lectures, I named culprits for the backwardness of the present-day Philippines. Politicians, nationalists, both political and economic nationalists. But let me just, instead of spending one whole hour, allow me to spend only about 5 minutes to point out particular culprits who are rarely mentioned. First of all, us economists. In 1957, Ben Higgins came here and said, "You're a rich country, rich in labor. Why are you specializing in capital-intensive industries when you have a lot of labor?" He was wrong. We were rich, let us say, in backs and legs and arms of unskilled labor. We were not rich in labor. And as for capital, you could borrow it anywhere. Another time, another group of economists, they forget that there is no successful parallel country after Britain that did not nurture its industries. And we had economists who were anti-nurturing Philippine industries. So much for economists. I'll mention also the lawyers, especially the Supreme Court. And not only Supreme Court. I'll give you one instance. In the late 1980s, when the advanced countries of this region were looking to outsource Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, which was the logical choice? Which was nearest to them? Which spoke English? Which had a more abundant supply of entrepreneurs and managers? So Luzon Petrochemical, Taiwan Formosa Plastics wanted to set up a petrochemical plant complex in the Philippines. They chose Bataan because Petron was there. Then they decided, wait a minute, in Batangas there are 2 oil refineries which can supply us the naphtha, which is the essential for petrochemical industries, Shell and Caltex and Shell. Not only that, Batangas is being developed as an alternate port, and there is even a move to put up a railway from Batangas to the rest of Luzon. That will save a lot of cargo trucks, right? And railways are very economical method of transportation. So I will name 2 persons, maybe a few persons. William Gatchalian, who was according to Jim Yong Pin, the biggest technical smuggler in the Philippines, because he was given a BOI permit to import petrochemicals for his own plastics factory, but he ended up importing and selling the petrochemicals to everybody else. So naturally, he faced a threat from Formosa Plastics. His lawyer, I don't think I should name him. And the classmate of his lawyer. So Formosa Plastics, which had established Luzon Petrochemical, asked Board of Investments, BOI, to give them permission to transfer to Batangas, not Bataan. BOI said, okay, that's your business decision. Then the governor of Bataan, Tet Garcia, and teamed up with William Gatchalian to oppose that transfer for their own reasons. Bataan had been declared a petrochemical site because of Petron. But that was not an exclusive arrangement. That did not mean that Bataan was going to be the only site of any petrochemical complex. So they brought suit before no, wait a minute. We have a long legal system here, long-winded, and long and slow. So they lost in the court of first instance, that level. Then they appealed, this group appealed to the Court of Appeals, and they lost. And then they appealed to the Supreme Court. 4 of the judges, 3 women, and who was a prominent lawyer, Narvasa, voted in favor of Luzon Petrochemical. A 5th, namely Florentino Feliciano, whom we used to call, when we were students, used to call him Brains, because that's how brilliant he was out of the country, but he would have voted with the 3 women and 1 male justice. But the rest of the justices voted against. The women were saying, look, that's their business decision. It's not we have nothing to do with the business decision, especially when it was given by Board of Investments. Just the same, the majority voted in favor of Gatchalian and Ted Garcia. I asked the Chief Justice, who was Chief Justice at that time, why did you vote that way? And said, I always voted the majority. A good friend of mine saying that. So what happened? Formosa Plastics abolished the Luzon Petrochemical. The Taiwanese went to Thailand and Vietnam. And that ended the flow of foreign investments for what? How many years? 15, 20 years. Fortunately, we are seeing some signs of more investments, such as business processing. But we have a lot of catching up to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.